Morning. This morning I am heading to South by Southwest London to mentor some music artists, managers, creatives, whoever's managed to book a slot with me this year. And I'm very excited to do it, man. I love mentoring. I've mentored quite a lot over my time in the music industry, working in music, working with artists, helping artists develop, grow, create. So it's something that's very close to my heart. I've always felt the need to help as much as I can. But interestingly enough, this isn't actually my first time mentoring at South by Southwest London. I actually did it last year in its first inaugural year in London. And it was an incredible experience, you know. We sat down, we had like 20-minute slots for artists to come and discuss their challenges, their questions, their issues, all that sort of thing. And though it wasn't surprising, I do feel like there is still an undertone of, you know, the biggest challenge that most artists and creators are probably facing right now is how to stand out. And that was a question I did get a lot. How do you stand out in a world of TikTok and social media and content when there's so much of it? How do you even have a chance to stand out and be heard by the masses? So, you know, with regards to my expectations for this year, I feel like it might be quite similar. I feel like there will probably be a lot of questions around how do I get attention? How do I stand out? Obviously, YouTube is always a topic that comes up with me. Social media, streaming, you know, I think these questions are quite common. But I think the cool thing about South by South is actually it's not all about music. It's not all about artists. There were some creatives, there was directors. And it is a festival where all these different professions do cross. Creativity, tech, music, art, cinema. And I think that's the beauty of it. And so my expectations is, yeah, we're gonna find a lot of new challenges, new conversations, new artists. Yeah, man. So let's go for my morning walk now. But we're gonna head back soon and get ready for South by South. See you in a bit. Just grabbing morning coffee before we head out. And then we're gonna head out into London, straight Lizzie line. And we'll be in Shoreditch. I was just walking to the train station and I bumped into my neighbour. She's from China actually, really well educated, you know, works in tech, in and around tech at least. She just said to me that she was coming back from the job centre because she had to sign on to JSA. She hasn't been able to find a job for nearly 8 months, so she had to eventually sign on. She didn't want to do it, but she had to, and it's just like the sad reality of the economy that we're actually in. It's tough, like, let alone working for yourself, even just trying to have a job. And it's sad, man. It's sad to see, especially someone like her, man. Such a nice neighbour, so lovely, always there, like always willing to help and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, man, but it's the reality of it. And I think that's why doing things like this, where if you can help, if you can give a bit of guidance, if you can even make some connections and potentially get people jobs or experiences or connections or whatever it is. Again, it's why it hits so heavy to me. It's why it's so important for me to do these sort of mentoring sessions that we're headed to do today. Hey, we've arrived in Shoreditch. Last year there was a massive queue, so I've clearly come at the right time this time, so I can walk straight in. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It's time to register. We're here, we've arrived. That's great, thank you very much. Cheers. Cool, so pass collected, we're officially in. It's just before 1 o'clock, so I've actually got a couple of hours before the mentoring starts. I think we need to arrive like 10 or 15 minutes before. So I'm going to, there was a couple of conferences and networking events I wanted to hit up, but work doesn't stop, so I'm gonna have to post up in a coffee shop for a little bit, see what I can get done, and I'll try and catch a show. And if not, we'll just head straight to the mentoring and we'll go from there. So I've just stopped off for a little Vietnamese coffee get me ready, give me a bit of energy before the mentoring sessions begin. I'm really tired today, man. I didn't really sleep properly, but I've just actually come back from Soho House, Shoreditch, part of the festival. The speakers, mentors, they were given access to Soho House for the week throughout the festival, which is cool, man. You know, it's a good little place to work and stuff. I've been there a few times for a couple of meetings and stuff like that, but I gotta be honest, man, like I don't really feel the vibe in there. It always feels a little bit off to me. It feels a little bit pretentious and hostile somewhat. Maybe it's all in my head, but I'm not the only one to have said that either about Soho House. I'm sure some locations are better than others, I'm sure some days are better than others, but yeah, man, it wasn't overly busy. I thought it was going to be packed. I've been in there before when you can't even get a table. I'm sure it will be later on in the week as the festival continues, but yeah, man, so I just came back from there. But my point was the reality of working for yourself, even on days like this when you're out and about doing different things, you know, going to festivals, conferences, meetings, events, gigs, all that stuff, is that actually the work never stops, you know, when you work for yourself, at least not for me. And I feel like I've never really been able to, since I've been working for myself, which is 2.5 years now, you never really be able to switch off. Like, I think it's quite different from when you work for someone or work for a company. You know, the weekend is yours, the evenings are yours, the days off are yours. But yeah, for me, I feel like I had to go and sit and work somewhere and get some tasks done. You know, a client needs work, a project needs to be worked on, all this sort of stuff. So, but also, you know, I can't complain, man. Like, I've got projects to work on, I'm busy, there's a lot that I want to achieve, there's a lot what I want to do, there's a lot that I can aspire to. So, you know, but it's just the reality of it. So we just arrived to the location, which is, it's called the Courthouse Hotel, but it's actually an old magistrate's court. It turned into a luxury hotel here in Shoreditch, so it's right opposite the town hall as well. But this is where we'll be mentoring today, man, so let's get in there. I'm inside. I just came into the lobby. It was ram-packed full of South by Southwesters, man. I'm just looking for the toilets now before I head in there, but man, like, what a fancy ass hotel. They're probably thinking, who the hell are all these creators? They must have got a big booking fee or something, man, for this, because it's mental. So, ran into my good friend Marjo, who I actually mentored, funnily enough, last year, right?
That's right.
But now you're mentoring.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're my friend.
And we're good friends.
I am table number 8.
He's table number 8.
Sanjay's table number 3.
Yeah.
Here at South by Southwest London.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
So we made it to the mentoring room. We're sat here now. A few familiar faces already I've managed to see. Like Marjo, you just saw there, guy who works at HBO. He's a really cool guy, man. We kept in touch since our last session last year, so it's been great to see him. But yes, we're sat down waiting for the mentors now. The mentees now. And I'm going to fill you in. I'm expecting a few different, you know, there's quite a few different personalities here by the looks of it. So I'm expecting a few different stories, a few different challenges, a few different conversations. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I've just wrapped up the first 2 sessions. Again, like I said, man, really, really different, you know. So the first one was an artist from Germany. His whole brand was basically kind of like sci-fi influenced, but they're also gender fluid. This is his card, it's called Jewel. And so that was a really interesting one, but I think they were a bit confused on just what to focus on, their content, you know. I looked at their YouTube channel, it was basically dead. Like, there was 3 videos on there from 8 years ago, 2 years ago and 8 months ago, and there was just absolutely no content on there. So it was really just about discussing what they want to achieve, and if it's more the artist thing, more the producer thing. You can do both, obviously, but you know, when it comes to content, we need a clear picture and a clear plan. So that was a really interesting one. They were from Germany in Berlin, which I've never been to either. Second one was an artist manager who manages an artist called Carpet Man. It's an EDM sort of dance music, faceless artist, and that team, that artist manager, are from Ukraine. And it was really interesting because it's at a really big level. He's got a lot of followers. Sorry, they're ringing the bell to notify the end of this session. But yeah, a lot of followers, 2 million monthly listeners on Spotify, 400k subs on YouTube. But so far, man, like, yeah, quite good, you know, quite a little bit different between the two mentees. But I'm looking forward to the next few sessions, so we'll see what happens. Just finished my third mentee, and it's so funny. It's an interesting one, man. It was so different. Like, basically, it was a woman that works for a charity in London, and they are looking for an ambassador. And I think she basically just wanted me to say, oh yeah, I can get Kylie Minogue to be your brand ambassador for this charity. I feel like that's the vibe she was on. Like, she kind of wanted that, but it's really dope charity. They do great work. But again, man, just an example of like how many different people you meet at these events, and you know, South by Southwest being a perfect example. But yeah, no, again, another dope conversation. But we'll see what's in store for the next two. I'm hoping we get some artists that really that really know what they're doing, and we can have an in-depth conversation about YouTube. I think that'd be dope. But we'll see, man. But so far, it's been way more varied than I thought.
Just like
makes sense, man. You are the music.
I am the music.
You are the music.
This is exhilarating, fast, speed dating.
Yeah.
This is intense.
It's a lot. How many have you done so far?
Just one.
Just one.
You're the second.
Okay. That artist was dope. The name was La Musica. Like, he calls himself the music. He's from Dominican Republic, and that was a really dope session, man. Energy was amazing, man. I really enjoyed that. And he was at a good level whereby he was just trying to level up. So that was a really interesting conversation. And also I find it, sometimes it's actually quite challenging for me as the professional, because I'm like, well, you're already doing everything you need to be doing. It's just a case of timing, meeting people, networking, that sort of thing. And I can always give a few tips and tricks on YouTube and, you know, best practices and that sort of thing and overall strategy. But a lot of the times, you know, some of these artists, they already all know what they're doing. So again, it's really refreshing when you come across that, because it's quite promising for the next generation, and it's good to just meet them as well, you know, because you never know what fruitful relationships could happen from these meetings. The room's clearing out a bit now. I think we might be done. I think there might be one more, but we'll see. With Junaid next to me. Cool guy, I just met him and spoke to him as well. So yeah, man, nearly there. So I ran into Nikita after a very long time.
It's been.
I don't know.
You can't work it out if it's been a few months or maybe a year or more.
I feel like, you know what? I feel like last time it was when were you working with Semtex?
Yeah.
I think that might have been it, you know, which is probably a while ago.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So how did you find mentoring at South by Southwest?
I was going to interview her, but no, it was good, man. I did do it last year as well, but it was a really mixed bag. I feel like it wasn't that many artists today. It was more like just random creatives and business people. So yeah, I found it interesting. How about you?
Yeah, well, this is the first time I've done it, and I feel like it was so, there was a couple of artists, but then there was people asking about like brands and partnerships and this and that. And my thing is, I just hope, because it's such a short amount of time, I'm just trying to say the most I can that can be most impactful.
Yeah. And where are you off to now?
I want to go to this conversation about
Rick and Morty. She wants to go watch Rick and Morty.
It's not Rick and Morty, but it's by Adult Swim, who do Rick and Morty, and it's about one of their series, Get Gyro. So I'm super excited about that. Awesome. Do you watch Rick and Morty?
No.
Okay,
I know what it is, but
I'm a big kid. I'm a big kid.
Awesome.
And then, what are you excited to see over the next? It's only tomorrow.
You turned into an interviewer.
You know what I love doing this.
Tomorrow I can't remember. I've added a few things to my schedule, but there's a Pitch Scotland. Do you know Pitch Scotland?
No.
So they're a festival that happens every year in Scotland, and they've got some really dope artists on their showcase tomorrow. So I've got all my friends from Scotland coming down to watch that. So I'm going to be there.
Amazing. I might go too. No, bye.
There we have it, man. What a day. What a long day, but a dope day, man. A really great day. I was actually quite surprised. As a mentor, I was expecting to hear kind of like the same old challenges and frustrations that artists have. Out of the 5 people I did mentor, only 2 were actual artists, and the others, they were still creatives, but they were in and around music and arts and culture and creativity. But what I found really cool was that everybody had a different challenge or a different story. Everyone was completely different. And actually it was quite pleasantly surprising, because it almost felt as though everybody already kind of knew what they needed to do, but they just needed help laying it out. It's almost like they needed clarity more than knowledge. And they just needed someone to help them see that, basically. And the truth is, for everyone in the creative industry, that's probably a lot of us, right? We probably all know what we have to do. We all know what it takes. We all have these visions and goals and dreams and ambitions. Sometimes we just need to take a step back, take a look at the wider picture and realize that I already know what I need to do. It's just a case of laying it all out. And so yeah, man, I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. It's something different. I've not really done this before. I'm going to step it up on the YouTube as we continue to do more, work on more things, travel more. So I'm hoping that you'll join me on this journey. I hope you took something from today. And feel free to reach out, to comment, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Give me some feedback, positive or negative. And yeah, man, I'd love to connect with any of you that have taken the time to watch this video. Appreciate you all. See you on the next one.